Thank you, Rich, and thank you, board members, and all the participants who are here today. We really appreciate you and appreciate the opportunity to be here in person as well as on Zoom. In my first address to you as executive director of your association, I remember feeling so much excitement about what TPEA could achieve this year, even during crushing challenges of a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic, economic destruction, and political polarization. I am here today with the same undiminished level of excitement for the tasks that lie ahead. But in addition to that, I am here with an incredible gratitude and admiration for the leadership and members of this special, unique organization. It has been the most amazing privilege of my life to work for you, to experience firsthand the integrity, the dedication, and commitment you have brought to the public service under the most daunting of circumstances. I've also witnessed the love and support you have for each other and your community. You inspire me to come to work every day to help advance the goals and priorities in the public policy arena. I cannot thank you enough for allowing me to represent and advocate for you. And what a year it has been. As vaccinations rise and the hospitalization rates decline, we are getting our economy moving again. We have learned new ways to work and increase efficiently, at least one positive byproduct of the social isolation many of us have experienced since March 2020. Fears of draconian budget cuts, the legislative session evaporated as federal stimulus funds flow down to the state and state revenue projections increased. When the legislature passes a state budget by near unanimous vote in both houses, it is a good indication there is something for everyone in the budget. So what did active state employees and retirees receive in the deal? After so many sessions of sounding the alarm about the unfunded liability of the ERS Retirement Trust Fund and walking away empty-handed, TPEA and allied groups, such as the Texas Silver-Haired Legislature, the Reason Foundation, Texas 2036, and a coalition of state employee and retiree groups finally convinced the legislature to do something about it. Senate Bill 321, authored by Senator Joan Huffman and sponsored in the House by Chairman Greg Bonham, puts the ERS Trust Fund into a path of solvency. This is excellent news for state employees and retirees. It not only keeps the trust fund solvent and keeps it from running out of money for current state employees, but also creates an opportunity for retirees to receive some kind of benefit enhancement in the future. I always like to say it changes the opportunity for a benefit enhancement from impossible to possible. But it's not going to happen anytime soon. And I'm sure Jennifer Chambers, who will be talking about this in a few minutes, will be able to elaborate on that. And by the way, Shaq, if you're welcome to chime in anytime as well. We appreciate Shaq now. TPEA members played a big part in making Senate Bill 321 happen. We mounted an aggressive and well-coordinated legislative advocacy effort that included the following components: the production and publication of videos, an email campaign aimed at state legislators and their staff, the coordination and support of public policy think tanks, as I said earlier, the creation and management of coalition of state employee and retiree groups, communications via letter at the beginning of the session, public testimony in Senate Finance, House Appropriations, and Pensions and Investments Committee, and personal contacts with key legislative and staff. And I want to give a special shout out to our board members who also sent legislative letters throughout the session. Clearly, the successful effort of 321 demonstrates what is possible if TPEA members take an active role in the legislative process. I cannot be prouder of our members for showing up for all state employees and retirees to help secure the pension benefits. While the Texas legislature did not pass an across-the-board pay raise, they continued their policy of granting targeted pay raise that began in fiscal year 2010 to 2011. However, TPEA is not thwarted, for lack of a better term. We will continue to advocate for across-the-board pay raise, and we have an agenda item later for the board to adopt a letter to the governor asking the governor to grant an across-the-board pay raise to the call in a special legislative session. Our legislative advocacy, of course, is not the only thing we did this past year. For the first time in TPEA's long and distinguished history, we developed a 5-year strategic plan to guide us for the next phase of our history. We asked our members about their vision for TPEA and what they wanted this association to do for them. TPEA board member Joe Golson and TPEA member Eddie Reyes co-chaired the Strategic Planning Committee and will be presenting the strategic plan for approval today, later in the agenda. I want to personally thank each one of you for participating in this strategic plan process. It is something difficult but necessary to look inward and evaluate our weaknesses and flaws. But we have emerged as a stronger and more unified organization with a clear vision for the future. Surviving the legislature session and making a strategic plan in the same year are heavy lifts for any organization, but there is more. TPEA Board of Directors improved governance by adopting conflict of interest and non-disclosure policies and completing a risk assessment. TPEA made a significant number of internal changes to increase efficiency and reduce cost, while at the same time enhancing member benefits. Despite the year of COVID, we have innovated new ways to conduct member outreach, new member recruiting, member engagement through social media, and even the dreaded Zoom calls. We have digitized and archived 75 years of historical materials and financial records. We have added online payments for membership dues and PAC contributions. All of these improvements increases the organization values to members and assures the membership dues directly support the vision and mission of this organization. But as much as we have learned to adapt and streamline our operations in face of a pandemic emergency, we are so much looking forward to getting back out to and visiting our members where they work and live. I still think the old-fashioned face-to-face relationship is the best way to get to know our members and their unique working conditions. And it also helps facilitate networking between our members across the state. As the state and nation reopens, so will TPEA. You will be seeing us soon in your communities. Finally, nothing would have been accomplished in this incredibly difficult year without the dedicated work of the TPEA staff. Often we're working remotely and dealing with their own personal and economic challenges from the pandemic. Our staff and consultants perform heroically for our members, just as you've done for the people of Texas. These men and women not only seek to assist our members in any way they can, but their unfailing positivity and can-do attitudes also make this truly a wonderful place to work. I want to call them by name so that you can give them at least a small showing of our enormous gratitude. Charlotte Wilson. Gina Standard. Yeah, stand up, Gina. Away. Hannah Schaefer. Ray Hummel. And Vernon Pittman. Also, I want to give a shout out to our wonderful interns. We were very fortunate this year to find 4 interns to help us during the legislative session, but they've left us now. They've graduated and they're moving on to other things, and we couldn't convince them to be interns for the rest of their lives. But Michael Sanchez and Sumtu, I apologize, I know you're on Zoom, but that's what we call Sumtu. I cannot pronounce her last name, but she is our legislative intern. Nick Wisen was our analytics intern who helped us with some of the technical aspects and analysis for a potential pay raise. And Aisa Serta was our intern who was also in marketing as well. And just to back up, Michael was the one who did the Essential Texans articles, so we appreciate it. Thank you again for the opportunity to work for you. There can be no state without state employees and retirees that go before you. I promise and continue to do my best to see that TPEA's vision of a respected, properly compensated state workforce is fully recognized. Thank you.